What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Value Vibes, where we talk all NFTs with Zircon and Ozzy and myself, Phil Contreras. And I am enjoying this right now. So we're going to get started with Zircon. Zircon, how's your day going, man?
Really good. Today we have a streaming. We make some content on NFTs on Twitch. We trade also some collections. We make some profit today, likely because we start the day like with the wrong foot. We tried and trade FOMO Foxes earlier in the day, and it wasn't really the play of the day. So I think I just managed to break even there. And from there, we moved to ABC Degens, an ABC derivative run by one of the gods, Mikey. And in a collab with Soded, they are trying out their new launchpad that they recently uh, hosted called Black Magic. So it went over there. The mint wasn't really on point, to be honest with you guys. It has some flaws. It was once they announced that people were able to mint, almost no one could mint the NFTs. Some of us got a little bit drained. Like it would discount you the money, and the mint was
ABC
just one per
Degen?
wallet. Yeah, ABC Degen. I think it's no, that's not the
No,
the,
it's
the
not.
actual one.
It's not.
It's ABC space Degen. I think their Twitter account. Uh,
All right, I'll look for
hmm.
it.
Yeah, maybe if you look for Soded, you'll find it because they collab together, so they definitely make the Twitter post. And well, I managed to mint one before the mess and make some profit out of it. It minted for 0.2 sol, 0.23 to be exact. I sold it for I think 1.3 sol with 8% royalty, so I make almost 1 sol of profits. And I called the day with that. Then we checked out some collections, but most of the collections that minted today weren't on point. We had Fatal Foxes as well that went under mint price as well. And then we have some Dijon plays, but not that much
Oh,
really.
I think it
That
just got
that
suspended.
Oh, maybe let me see.
Oh, man. Oh,
That's
what happened to
crazy.
them?
That's crazy.
It's just
But
an everyday. It's just an everyday thing in Solana. So,
yeah, that was
but
pretty
yeah,
much
it's
my day, Phil.
all right. So, Ozzy, how about you? What have you been doing in Solana this
Well,
week?
my day consists of waking up super early today, and I uh, I I minted like 4 FOMO foxes, and that didn't go over well because like the launch pad was Sabai, and I think that's how you pronounce it, Saiba. I'm probably butchering that honestly, but that was their launch pad, and FOMO foxes essentially like it all was going good with OG. It was all going good with whitelist.
This
It
right.
was steady. It wasn't like selling out super fast, but it was definitely super steady. Then it hits public, which has dynamic pricing on Sabai, and it goes up to like almost zero point 0.6 with the dynamic pricing for. And the way that works is essentially like if more is getting minted quicker, then the pricing goes up with it. And then if not very many is getting minted, it goes down. Riff Rats did that as well. But my biggest thing is that the dynamic pricing messed up, right, on public. So then they set it to a set price, which was zero point 0.5, which was the whitelist. So I was fine with that. But then they brought dynamic pricing back after whitelist or after public hadn't been selling at zero point 0.5. So then the dynamic pricing set its pricing to like 0.3, 0.35. So anybody that was in like whitelist or OG didn't get the benefit of a lower price, because essentially, if you see where the dynamic pricing is, it started it was going good, then it froze, so they like set it to a base price, and then after they were like, oh yeah, it can work again, they decided to change it back, and nobody had been minting at that zero point 0.5 base price, so that means the dynamic pricing kicked in, and when they restarted it, right, and so then it went down, and so like they're sitting, I think, under zero point 0.5. I think they're sitting at like 0.43, and it just like wasn't the like greatest thing in the world. So like I took like I think a 0.4 loss on that, and then I wasn't around for most of the rest of the day. And then there was a sleeper one that like did the same thing ABC did, and I think it was called Boners. And they pre-minted all of it, and then they listed all 3,500 on Magic Eden for 0.1. And so it was kind of like a degen one. And I think they pumped all the way to 0.6. And that was a 6 times. So I wasn't in on that. I didn't have any like mobile wallet funds to be able to like sweep those off Magic Eden. But other than that, like
Okay.
it's kind of been back and forth.
So what I want to know is what is going on with dumbass donkeys after the last talk.
Okay, what are they sitting at now?
They're at 205 right now.
205. What were they at when we talked last?
They were at basically, yeah, 3 sol.
3 sol.
They were kind of the same price, I would say.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna say we've been bouncing
now.
off of like 2 and 3, and I think the reason we're picking up right now is because Iced this week. I think that first week he was quiet, and we were just kind of pushing it. Iced was actually doing an AMA that I didn't attend in the Discord. But for announcements, let me go over here real quick because I can give you the lowdown on the announcements. So he just did. There's a couple things that just happened, right? So they partnered with Hades Swap for their liquidity pool. We're now hosting a 30 soul poker tournament for donkeys right now on Rebel Poker. So they've teamed up with Rebel Poker. We're supposed to also be incorporating with Xboard. Or X Skate, and so essentially they're going to be making like skateboards and like essentially I think like Tony Hawk, but Solana and NFT like infused essentially. And then now they've introduced today Donkey PFP staking with XP with Elixir Quest. And so that's probably like they're in their like Elixir Quest again is in their early stages, but they're going to be using that XP essentially to probably give stuff away that I missed in the AMA today. But I guarantee you that like that week that Iced was quiet, he was probably setting all this up, and now he's starting to like drop stuff. But they're starting to do it where like if you hold more donkeys, you get more XP a day too from Elixir Quest. So we'll see exactly how like that works. But the whole thing with Elixir Quest is they use your PFP from NFT Inspect, which is a big thing for, collections. I think we're in the top 100 still. And so they're using that mechanic essentially to like, instead of doing staking or an SLP, it has no like economic or monetary value. It's just, I bet he's going to use that XP to do giveaways or other things like that.
I see. Wait, think Zircon. You got any feedback on dumbass
No,
donkeys?
I really like the to be honest, I really like the community behind the donkeys. I think they are working really hard. They are trying to do their best to stay there, like in constant motion with the community driving. And I really like them. I think they are pretty set up on a price, and they can really move forward from that price up, since they have ICE behind them, and ICE is really working. Maybe the only thing that it's not a bad thing, actually, is that ICE is just calling the things when they are done. He doesn't make promises. It's like one day he comes up with, I don't know, maybe some crazy staking, and he said, yo, here's the staking. So he doesn't say, guys, next week we'll be having this and this and this. He just bring the news when they are already done, and that's it. So I really like them.
Yeah, now, I feel like that initial pump that you're looking at too, right there, is when we broke the top 100 of NFT Inspect. When we hit that, not that one, the 3 pump, like when we pumped back up. Yeah, right there. I think that's when we started getting like influencers and a bunch of people to switch their PFPs over, and we broke like top 100 NFT Inspect, and that was like, I think that's what happened that week when they pumped. And then like slowly like the FOMO wore off on some people, right? Like that's going to happen. So
now on another note, Zircon, I know you've been talking about So Dead. You got alpha on that?
Now I won't call it an alpha, since, well, I know Sodet from the beginning. Actually, it's pretty crazy. I knew them when they first minted, like at 0.09, and I flipped them for 0.22. I think I bought two for 0.22 back on the day, and they started pumping just because the art was sick, the vampire thing and everything. So they started pumping, and I flipped them, and I completely forgot about them, and I started looking at them again when they pumped, like I think from two from last week to five, and then seven, and then 10, and they skyrocket to 20. So I say, what's going on with these guys that they pumped so hard in such a short time? So I started looking around at the announcements and everything, and they have a crazy things going on. In the first place, they have the original collection called Sodet, that are vampires, and they made a whole lore on the collection. Basically, the vampires can be purified using Sodet blood. That is another NFT that it's tradable, and you can also get your Sodet purified and from a tribe, from a three kind tribe. I think it's lichens. I don't know the two others. I know lichens are a thing, with chalices as well. So they have these Sodets, these chalices, and the Sodet blood just as NFT trading, and then you get upgrades on your NFT by purifying them. So they are Sodet purified, and Sodet purified tribe. But the interesting thing is that if the both Sodet blood and chalices are deflationary. So every single time a person purifies its Sodets, the collection size reduces. To purify Sodets, you need to burn 4 bloods, and to make a purified tribe, you need to burn 1 blood and 1 chalice. So every single time we have an event on purification, the size of the collection goes down. And we have something that is even interesting. That this is what blew my mind. The events for purification, it's not every like when you want. They have one time at the month, one day, where you can purify your Sodets, and if you don't purify that day, you have to wait 1 month to purify again. So the last purification event was the 27th of August, and the next purification event is the 9th of October. So it's going next week. And every single time that happens, a lot of Sodets are purified, a lot of blood is being burned, and chalices are being burned. So we might see a pump on Sodets blood. I don't know chalices, because chalices are crazy expensive. If you search them, I think they are over 100 sol already. So I don't know if they can keep pumping at that rhythm. It's really crazy. But they have a whole ecosystem running. They already have their own launchpad, and they are planning to make a stablecoin. But if you want to, we can talk further about that next week, because they're doing some crazy stuff with the
Yeah, it
team.
looks like they know how to gamify this.
Yo, I got a
Looks
question
like they're
though.
really sick with that.
I got a big
Yeah.
question though. What's so special about those dates? Like, is there something like that correlates with like the 27th and the 9th? Because that's not a full month, right? Like that's not a full 27 days. So like, or 28 days if you want to go by like a weird calendar year. So like, what's so special about those days?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that little detail. They call that days the full moon days. They make a whole lore about it. So in full moons, you can get your Sodets to reach purification. And if you don't do it, you have to wait a whole cycle till you had another full moon to get the purification. It's crazy. I've never seen this before in the ecosystem. And I think these dudes are really working on their gamification and the lore around the whole collection. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Man, that's interesting. Okay, so the next thing, what mints are you looking at right now? Is there anything for this week or next week?
Do you start, Ozzy? Or
I guess I can go. All right. Everybody likes to call me the whitelist king over here because I'm always tagging them. So for the rest of this week, I'm not looking at much. I'm looking at Toonlands. Toonlands has their Legends series coming out. Toonlands is kind of like Arcade Land of Seoul. They already have their land out, right? And their land is sitting, I believe, at 5.89 Seoul. And they're already showing like 3D models, and they're showing like all the different skins essentially they have for the models, like a D-God skin, a set skin. Like they have
How
all
do you
that
spell
kind of stuff.
Toonlands?
Toonlands.
Oh, Toonlands. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so they've already got their land, they've already got everything else. They're submitting through Mercury right now, but it's going to be their second collection called Legend Degens, I think is like kind of how it works out, because that's the name of the role that you get. And I believe that's the collection. And so essentially you're going to I'm looking at minting these just because it kind of pairs with the land aspect. So I kind of want to see like what metaverse they bring. And their whole team is like doxed with actual pictures of themselves and things like that, and Twitter links and LinkedIn links. They've clearly already have like an established like kind of arcade land project, but it's crazy to see that like they're already ready to like do a Gen 2 when Arcade Land and ETH, like we're still waiting for some developments, but they have like the plots of land just like in Metaverse and like Arcade Land, where like you can select the plot of land and buy it and like walk through it and put things on it. So I think that's like the biggest one I'm looking at. For that, there's Cyberbongs is doing their second collection, and that is going to be tied into their like I think they have over 20 cannabis shops in real life in Canada. And coming from the state side, cannabis in Canada and the US, it like is a killing. Like it's $1 million industry if you just own like one dispensary. So I can only imagine that they have the money for that. And they're supposed to be doing like minting and like some revenue share off of essentially each cyberbong will have a product, and whether it's like wax or cartridges or oil or flour or something like that, that's where your percent of the revenue comes from, apparently. Like that's how they're trying to do that. So I want to mint them. I just want to kind of see where they're going, but I know like if they're actually in the cannabis industry like that, they're going to go wild. And then there's this sleeper one that I call a developer project, and it's called the Castle. And the Castle essentially is trying to do shit where you can, instead of giving out OG, you can buy OG. So like VIP, and like, so instead of pre-selling the NFTs, that you're pre-selling the OG spots kind of thing. And so it's kind of the first of their kind. But what I like about them is they're not lore based. They're not really doing like crazy stuff for the art. They're doxed by Nestor Alpha Doc Services. Not sure exactly who that is. That might be Scrap Empire, for what I know. But they do have they have a white paper, and they also have a working product already. So I know they did a pre-mint on the 27th, and their mint is on the 30th. So I'm kind of looking at them because they're a little bit different. They've got a working product, and they do dev updates like a video game would, like it's a video game forum, right? So like I like that a lot, because that just proves to me that they're actually working on the product and not
interesting play. Well, I guess we'll see how that works when the mint date comes in.
Right.
The one thing I've been looking at, and it's actually not a mint, but it's always been something that I always try to accumulate. It's very boring. No one cares about it. It's not that hyped, but it's magic tickets.
Oh,
from Magic Eden.
Magic tickets out of Magic Eden. I only got 2 of them, but I've always wanted to get at least 10 of them, because I think these things would reach at least probably 10 SOL at some point within the next year, if they do start ramping up some things for the community. There's 30K of them right now.
Yeah.
But they mentioned something on Twitter that basically pumped this up a little bit. So I was actually looking at it when it was at 216, and then it pumped up at 328. And the reason why, because if the person doesn't know, whoever's watching, Hate Swap is a platform. It's basically like an AMM. that they're providing liquidity pools. Um, that platform is basically, one could say, it's a competition with Magic Eden. And Magic Eden came out with a statement yesterday basically saying that they could possibly disrupt their own business model. And when they said that, this thing freaking just went up for one soul. Now that doesn't seem much, but again, like, you have many Degen mints at one soul or less. So to me, it's like, okay, I can buy a Degen mint, or I can actually buy an actual, legit company where everyone's buying from. Every Solana Degen is buying from Magic Eden. So as business wise, that it's actually, scalable. They got a proven product for less than 2 SOL. Well, I mean, at 2 SOL. Right now it's at 270, but it's less riskier at the same price as Degen mints, and it's a 1.3 billion dollar company already. So it's already proven everything out there. So that is one thing I've been looking at. I've been trying to accumulate more because I think it's gonna hit 10 SOL. So,
what's the RSI currently?
Right now, right here at 39.
39, that's not bad. So like if it rests for like gets down to like 35, that's a great buy signal. So I would definitely look at that for if it spiked like that and then stayed within that, like it didn't peak over that 70 range down there and then it goes back down, like that's definitely going to show that it's finding its new essentially what the fuck is that called? Not relative strength. It's finding its strength, its bounce point, like its new bottom bounce. I forget what that's called. I'm losing my brain.
The support.
Yeah, support. It's finding its new support line when it decides to essentially stay at that price and still even down to that 39, 35. That's going to be kind of its new support line to where it shows if it's over or under bought. And since it didn't go over that RSI of 70, like that's a great show right there.
I remember back on the day when I first got into Solana, a friend, we have an interesting conversation about these magic tickets with a friend. And he made like, it might be a bold comparison, but he said buying Magic Eden tickets is like buying Tesla actions. I mean, it's a company that is already working, and it's a company that probably in the future, if Solana is still around and doesn't get eaten by the bear market, the tickets are gonna be pricey because it's like based on the company. I mean,
you brought up a good point on that. Like if something happens to Solana, they have Ethereum as well. On the platform.
Now they have Ethereum. That's right.
Yeah. So they have 2 products. So it's even less of a risk buying this, knowing that you could potentially have more profit made from buying a Magic ticket today. So
what are they sitting at right now?
270.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to when it gets down to, I think it's still gonna get down to probably like at least like 210. If it does get them, I'm gonna try to buy a little bit more. But yeah, 10 SOL is my range right now. So, but in other news, there is another mint coming up that I have looked into. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's called Lunar Project. Have you guys seen that project?
I've heard of it, familiar. But I didn't make my research yet.
Yeah, this is basically, so the backstory to this is that it's by the OpenDAO, and the OpenDAO is basically from HG Soul. So HG Soul is, he's creating Hate Swap it's integrated with ABC, and now you have this other 10K collection called Lunar Project, and the thing with this one is it's a 3D type of art. And if you look at it, it looks completely different from any other type of art. It's very unique. And the other thing is that it's charming. I like when NFTs are charming, because that means anyone can, people like charming NFTs. They like charming PFPs. So those are the 2 things that I like about this. It's backed up by these big dogs from Ethereum. And they're gonna play a role with probably Hate Swap, and then probably with ABC in some point, because the OpenDAO they're working on Hate Swap, obviously. So look at the other thing is that the freaking mutual following is at 65, 67 as far as for me, which I barely see as well. Like the other collection we've saw, and I had like 7 mutual following, 10 mutual following, but this one is high as well. Hopefully we can get some whitelists for this at some point. But yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely looks super nice art, like super nice 3D renders, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think of Sabai Labs, or I probably pronounce it SAIBA Labs?
Cyber Labs.
They're supposed to have an art upgrade in 2 weeks. They're supposed to, and the way they're doing this is you're supposed to own 3 of Gen 1 and then have 3,000 of their coin, and then you burn those 3 and 3,000 of the coin to get the art upgrade. That's how that's supposed to work. And I just feel like that's a lot, personally, to like get.
I like when they give utility to the token Cyber Labs, SAIBA. I like that. I think that might help I don't know if it's already on. I know I'm pretty sure it doesn't have a liquidity pool, so it must be selling on Famous Fox, and I think it might help the price go up if it's already listed on Famous Fox, because people will need the tokens, and I don't think like you can get that much tokens out of staking. I think the whole point of making it so big of a bag, that the one you need to get the upgrade art, is that you have to buy the tokens on the secondary market unless you have, I don't know, like a huge bag of Cyber Labs.
Yeah, I joined their Discord, and I know they were doing like a sweeping thing where like they're giving like 1,500 away, and like apparently you can get some from daily, like 500 from daily raids and some other stuff. But I don't know, I just felt like three NFTs plus the 3K seemed like a lot to me personally. And that's supposed to be the new art style.
Oh, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
I think it's pretty clean for sure.
Yeah, it's that sort of PFP styles that most people like to rock on Twitter. Like,
I do think it's kind of generic also, though.
Yeah.
Kind of feels generic.
Yeah, generic and more anime and stuff. Yeah, no, I just didn't know how you felt, how you felt about their launchpad either.
Well, I don't feel about their art, but launchpad, I don't know. What do you think, Zircon?
I have like both opinions on dynamic price. I know Cyberlabs has dynamic price, like a Dutch auction system. I really like that kind of minting, but I don't know. What I've seen from today's on FOMO Foxes, I didn't like it. Like, it was so messed up, the whole minting experience. So I don't know how to feel about the launchpad, to be honest. I think lately most projects like try to get into new launchpads, and I know the whole point of it is like try new launchpads and see which one is like the really good one. Besides, I put like in the best tier of launchpads, Magic Eden launchpads. Although I don't like the launchpad experience, but it's Magic Eden. And I like to put in that tier Soulport as well. I think it's really, really clean. It works properly. You cannot get botted. So I'll put that one as well. And I don't know. Most launchpads I have tried, or the mint is messed up, or there's always some kind of issue besides the Solana TPS dropping. So I don't know. I'm more of a classic guy, where if we have a product that works, like Magic Eden Launchpad or Soulport, we should just mint over there. That it's the mint success is guaranteed. They do their work properly, and they don't mess up a simple thing. Well, it's not simple, but I mean, it's like the key aspect of a collection dropping is the mint. I mean, if you start failing on the mint, what can I expect of the rest of your roadmap if you cannot even get the mint right?
Yeah. Now, on another note, I don't know if you guys seen the drama in Solana, but you have Hyperspace and Magic Eden going at it. What do you guys think of this, Ozzy?
This is the classic Arby's versus Wendy's Twitter beef that you got going on cooking right here. So like Hyperspace is accusing Magic Eden of threatening and breaking Solana dApps. Like Magic Eden saying it's like misinformation, but like so like and it's kind of like back and forth because Magic Eden pulled the whole blurry PFP thing. We talked about that last time. And about how like essentially like they're saying if you sell on a zero royalty site, we're enabling the creators to be able to blur PFPs and we'll do it for them. But that just sounds like they're also able to be like, oh, you sold on Hyperspace, and then they blur it, and then they are like, oh, our bad, that wasn't supposed to happen. And so it seems like Magic Eden was trying to do that. But I know that Hyperspace is also like, oh, Magic Eden, like every time Magic Eden's down, right? Every time Magic
Yeah.
Eden like is slow and is like when everybody's like Magic Eden's rugging, everybody's like use Hyperspace, or like Hyperspace will come chime in and be like, hey, Magic Eden's down, come hang out with us. And it's so funny because like that's the guerrilla marketing that is gonna get like people to be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go
It's
just
all.
mess with Hyperspace.
It's
Like,
also dangerous because it seems that Magic Eden is trying to do something to where I guess what they're gonna bring out their lawyers on Hyperspace for the accusation on the DOS attack. So like we're not technicals here, but I guess the DOS attack could be like someone going into trafficking your source. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what basically Hyperspace is claiming, but
Yeah.
there's no evidence yet. So yeah, well, Circle, what do you think? Is it Team Hyperspace or Team Magic Eden or Team None? Just watch it.
I
Better than the
mean,
Spanish soap operas.
I mean, I think like I don't know. I mean, hyperspace has been growing a lot fast lately, but I think an accusation on a DDoS attack just I don't know. It's for me, it's crazy to think that Magic Eden needs to DDoS attack like the competition just because it is growing. Magic Eden is the top tier platform here on the ecosystem. They bring Ethereum to the table, so I don't think they need to make a DDoS attack, to be honest. So I think maybe hyperspace is like trying to give a hit to see if they can get, I don't know, things on their side. But to be honest, I don't really like this kind of stuff. I think it's pointless at this point. I think if hyperspace is doing properly work, they don't need to do these public accusations on Magic Eden, trying to attack them and take the volume away from them. And I don't know.
I think
I
you're right.
mean,
I think you're right there. Because I agree. I think what hyperspace is doing, it's a little bit too much. It's not really needed right
yeah,
now. And not just that, is that we're waiting for the claims. Because when you throw something out there, you better have backing on it.
yeah,
So, it's in the beginning, it was no one didn't really care. No one didn't really care that was happening. But now it just kind of seems annoying.
yeah, yeah.
In some way. So that's my opinion. I'm neither team Hyper or Team Magic. I'm just watching the show. So, but that's basically the main shenanigans of what's going on between them. All right. So, anything else? Is there anything out there that you guys are looking at as far as
Oh,
go ahead. I've already done
yeah,
my piece on Mint.
we got big time news today.
what's the
I don't know if you were checking your discourse, guys, but today midstream I was talking about Sharkify,
oh
and
yeah.
they like bring the whole bomb to the table. They announced the mint date. They will be minting this Sunday on the Bifrost in the Blocksmith Labs
Oh,
launchpad.
Bifrost.
Yeah, they're going on Bifrost, so that's gonna be crazy. I'm really, really hyped on Sharkify. I was already bullish on them when we got the spots like a month ago, when I knew that they were doing like a loan DApp. And since then they've been working really really hard. They are moving like crazy volume. I think $8.5 million on volume on NFTs, so it's crazy. And they also announced what is the benefit of holding a shark x. They call them shark x, the NFTs. You will get a revenue share on the loans, and you will get some benefits on the actual loan system. I think you will get a cashback if you put your sharks in a loan, like in a lockdown. So I'm really bullish on them, and I'm really hyped on seeing how it goes this Sunday.
That's some interesting stuff right there. I can always see Solana Print has been backing this project up too. I've been seeing her really throwing it out there. Props on her on that. She's been lending some ABCs on there. That's how I've been looking into the project more because I've been seeing her Twitter. So yeah, that's some cool stuff. Unfortunately, I missed out on the whitelist when we got it. I forgot to add my name on there as well, but so be it. But yeah, how about you, Ozzy? What's
Oh
good over
well, I
there?
was gonna say one thing with that the Sharkify. Like I'm super excited about that, for sure, 100%. But I wanted to say, just comment on the Bifrost thing. You don't have to submit your wallet when you mint on Bifrost, because you just have to log into your Discord to their platform. As long as you have the corresponding role, you can mint.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. They actually released that bit of information today at like 5 o'clock on Sharkify. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because that means that I now need to move Sharkify up out of the TBA whitelist zone and into you have a date whitelist zone on my Discord, because I have way too many Discords. Let me tell you, I have folders on folders on folders of Discords. Other than that, like, I mean, Rifters is coming up. I want to talk about how their mint price is 10 Sol.
No,
Like,
that's crazy.
I feel like that's like the last time I saw a mint price that high was when they're minting Banksy's radar rats for 29 Sol, and you could burn one of them to get a Banksy. Like, like,
How do you spell it?
The
Banksy, or which one? Or the Rifters?
Yeah.
It's not minted yet. It's upcoming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you're projecting that's gonna be that
Yeah.
price.
No,
No. They announced the mint price.
Their mint price is
Oh,
10
the
Sol.
oh, okay.
The
Oh,
mint
geez.
price is 10 Sol.
Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I wish I was predicting like 1 to 10. No, I wish I was that bullish. No, essentially they're like just a big project with a lot of hype and a lot of lore, quests, EO books. I think they have like a game model. I believe their whole thing is they have people who worked for Blizzard are developing their game.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And it's just, there's so much to them. There's so much to them. And then Crypto's coming out with Ooze. You know who like kind of doesn't have a spotlight on them anymore, and I'm wondering like if they're ever going to announce when they're going to mint again. Infected.
Oh yeah, I remember back on the day. It was like 2 weeks ago, but they were gonna mint on the Dictator's launchpad, the Nukepad. That's what I say about these old launchpads trying to get the spotlight and doing things wrong. They were gonna mint on the Nukepad, and Nukepad did their first mint, and went really really bad. I don't remember which project was the first one. Oh, it was the Unveiled. The Unveiled was the project that started the mintings on Nukepad, and it was a fail. People couldn't be able to mint. Then whitelisted guys couldn't be able to mint. It was really really bad. And Infected was the next day, so they decided to abort the mission and don't mint on the Nukepad. And they are wandering around since then till now. They haven't announced yet the new mint date, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I think the hype was there, but they let the opportunity go away. That's the Infected mob. I think the Infected is INFKTED.
Yeah, I think I put it in chat for you.
Yeah, with an
Oh
E.
yeah, I need it in chat.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I got it.
So they are an AI generation project, and it
There it
looked
is.
well. It's like a collab art project, but I don't know. They really lost the hype. I will see if they can get it back, but I don't know. I'm just waiting to see what they will announce on the mint, because it was, as I told you, they were ready to mint, and since Nukepad was a complete disaster, they decided to wait and hold, and they are waiting and holding since then, and closing collabs with projects. That's what they're doing the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I also feel like a lot of their Steam got taken out from them because of like AI labs and their
Oh
creeks,
yeah,
and there was so many people that were like, "Oh yeah, we have the AI technology too."
So basically,
Yeah.
like they're behind the meta, I guess.
They are. I think they are now. They're behind the meta for sure.
yeah,
They were on top of it and ready to go, and then that shit happened with NukePad. And I think even before they pulled out, NukePad said, "Yo, clearly we're not unbottable. Like we need to fix some things. Like we're postponing mints until further notice." And I think this one was supposed to be like the next day. And of course, if I
Yeah.
was them too, I would have picked a different launch pad. But at this point, like I don't know if like they signed a deal with NukePad or if they're still like shopping around, but at this point they should have already found another launch pad. Like,
yeah,
like launch my NFT is free. Like it's cheap and it's an alternative. I know you don't want to be botted, but like what is stopping Infected from launching on Soulport when all the things that were on NukePad literally were like, oh, we're going to Soulport. We're going to Soulport, because it was like that 1 week was just like everybody minted on Soulport because they were tired of people like botting the hell out of any launch pad there was.
yeah.
I see. Now there is another one called Songen. I don't know if you guys heard of this one.
I've heard of it. I tried to get whitelist and missed it.
No,
We should be getting whitelist for this very soon.
Nice.
That's
So-
one that I would really love if you could explain a little bit more, because I saw it and checked the art. I really like the PF piece, but I don't know much about them. Didn't make much research, so I don't know what they're about. If they are bringing some utility to the ecosystem, or what there's.
The main thing
on
is this right here. If you look at this, they basically coded this right here to where you can look at any space and Twitter Solana. So instead of going through Twitter and trying to find spaces here and there, you can just come here and they have it all basically organized with all the big influencers, and you can track down which one is legit, which one is hyped, which one you can get the most alpha from. So it's all basically here. This is basically one of their main things. It looks pretty cool. I mean, just to use this, but it does it have moat? Can someone recopy this? Maybe. But right now they're the only ones that have something like this to where it just makes it easy for me, specifically for me, because I hate it. I hate when I'm trying to look for spaces. This just shows it all right here.
Yeah,
So
because you always have to
this
search
is a nice
for.
tool.
Yeah, because you always have to search for the person's name that you're like, oh, is this
That's right.
person doing a space, or is this person doing a space? And
Right.
it looks like it also saves the space right after it's
that's
after it's done.
so cool.
So that's cool. I wonder
you
if their
just play
project
right there.
thing is working yet. I see Iced on there. Search like, I don't know, donkeys or something. I saw Iced on the front page, so I just want to see if like it corresponds to projects people are like, nope, okay.
Okay,
I'm pretty
maybe
sure it
it'll
probably
be-
will later on.
Yeah.
maybe.
I was just wondering how far along in the development they were in.
Yeah.
Always fun to get the tools and break them. That was always like my favorite thing to do for a while.
That's like the main like what you just said was also a good point, was how like when this does get developed, like I can go and search for donkeys. Like, you know, you're into donkeys, so we just look it up, donkeys, boom, all of the live space are there. You could just research anything you want, get all the alpha in just one day. So
Yeah, maybe Digots even.
that's what I enjoy. Yeah, even D-Gods, anything out there.
Yeah,
So
I mean Riff Raff's
really cool.
Rats is right there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, you guys been through it to where you go into the Twitter and you just keep scrolling trying to find a space, or hopefully
Yeah.
if they have a space or not. So
Yeah, even sometimes it happens to me that I miss spaces because there are like a couple going at the same time, and since in Twitter you have like a short space where you can see, maybe you miss a space because you don't see it on the front page. So here you could check like every single space that it's going on at the same time.
Yeah. The worst thing on spaces for me, other than finding them, is like if you miss one, right? And you're the person you're looking at like their page or whatever, if they tweet a lot, it's gonna that space
Oh,
gets buried under tweets,
yeah, yeah,
right?
get
So like,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really innovative. So they're minting their NFT. Is that to be like seed funding to finish the rest of their website? Like how, other than like them building that tool for the ecosystem, like how is that supposed to pop in? Because I know it's a fancy RSS feed is how I look at that.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I see so far as far as them. Besides the art.
Okay.
Those are the two only things. So
Oh well, I'm
it's an
excited to
interesting
see
one.
what develops.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, that's everything. That's a wrap on everything that's going on in Solana. Any last words, Sircon?
No, no. I hope you see you around next week to see if we have any news on what's going to happen this during this week. Sharkify, how it went, maybe talk a little bit about that. See if we have any projects coming soon. I think we have a couple of hype mints as well that haven't announced anything yet, so maybe we have some news about them. And hope you see you next week. I really enjoy being here, so that will
Yeah, same
be
thing
on my
here.
side.
Ozzy, any last words?
Just because it's a bad mint day doesn't mean it's a bad day on Solana. Keep holding
Yeah.
your bags. Good morning, good night, and may the bag be
Yeah.
with you.
That's right. And peace out. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, comment below on anything else you guys want us to talk about next week. Peace.